Hey lovelies, thanks for joining me for the very last Build Your Own palette of 2022, at least within the BYOP series that I do with my friend Kara from Beauty and the Frizz. If you are new to this series, we started this to really get some use out of our singles, to celebrate what we have and not let those magnetic palettes collect dust in the corner. If you are a single shadow lover, you know that it can be very easy to buy the new pretty things, have fun swatching them, put them in a magnetic palette, and then kind of forget about pulling them out and using them. So we decided that every single month we would build a 10-pan palette centered around a theme, and it's been something different pretty much every single month. I think that this is going to be the only one that we've repeated, the only theme that we've repeated. And today it is all about New Year's reflections, or old years, this year's reflections. So the palette that I am sharing with you today, all of the shades in here represent something from my year. So I'm excited to dive into this one with you, but if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like more BYOPs in 2023, because they are coming at you. I will also have, of course, Kara's video linked down below, and then all of the other wonderful creators that have decided to join on this one. If you are a creator and you want to do it, please go ahead, tag Kara and I. If you are not a creator and you just want to share with us your palette, we'd love to see pics on Instagram. This is definitely one of those like no pressure situations. It's like join in when you're feeling inspired, and don't feel pressured if you don't have the time or it's just not your vibe. So we're going to dive in right now. I will show you my palette, we'll do some swatches, and we'll do at least one look. We'll have to see how this is going. I'm actually doing a live tonight after I film this video, so we'll have to see how much time allows, but let's go ahead and dive into this palette. Do you want to see what represents my year? Ah! Well, evidently waving my palette around and smacking it a little bit was not good for one of the delicate shadows in here. I'm gonna see what kind of palette surgery I can do. BRB. Oh, that's tragic. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to Kendra Morgan Official about how to repress a matte shadow. If you aren't following Kendra, you should be. If you destroy eyeshadows, or you enjoy like depotting, if you enjoy depotting your shadows and putting them into magnetic palettes, you will enjoy a lot of her content. I need help. Okay, well, if that isn't representative of 2022, I don't know what is. Like, seriously, that was probably meant to happen. So you're gonna see here, that I have 8 shadows, because the one that just broke is not in here, and I literally just picked it up to show you all, and I dropped it again, like everywhere. So you're gonna see that one in the swatches, but you're not gonna see it in the pan here. And I'm missing another one because I'm actually throwing in a cream shadow in here. Part of that is because I was talking to Kendra Morgan and she was like, you should, because she knows I love a cream shadow. She was like, you should put a cream shadow in your BYOP sometime. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will, because it's another one of those things that if you have them, I think it really could like take a little bit of reminder. Because if you have them, you might know that sometimes it can take a little bit of reminding to pull them out and use them. So I do have a cream shadow. And I figured, you know what? There are brands that are starting to put cream shadows in their palettes, like the Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. So we're kind of going off that vibe. Okay, but here are the the remainders of my 2022 palette. I swear, we're just getting started off. That also means that we're probably just gonna be doing one look, because let me tell you, that just took a while to clean up, and I still feel like I've got a little bit of yellow going on. It's a yellow shadow, the one that just busted everywhere, and it's all over my vanity because I've had to clean it up twice. Anyway, we're gonna rally these troops and we're gonna get right into this. Let's just go ahead and pull up the sleeves. I wouldn't be surprised if I ripped the sleeve off right now. That's how this day is going. We're gonna go ahead and do some swatches. I think I got enough of the yellow off of my hands. Let's get into it right now. Okay, before we get into the swatches, I thought you might like to see an up close look at what is remaining in my 2022 Reflections palette. I'm telling you, this is just so fitting. All right, so the first one here is Pretties for Your Face Lovelies. And this should be pretty self-explanatory because this one represents all of you. This, of course, was one of my 2 collab shades with the brand Pretties for Your Face. And, you know, it's just like the namesake. It was really for all of my lovelies here. It was pretty cool getting to create the shade, which always just seems to like blend in to my arm, but it is a very beautiful, like peachy, slightly shifty, rosy shade. I love this one. I was able to create 2 shades, but I know that I've put Love Spend in a couple other palettes, I'm pretty sure, at least in one other one. So I wanted to make sure to throw lovelies in here because honestly, all of you have been such a joy for me in this year. I've loved getting to talk to all of you, whether it's about makeup, more than makeup. I've had so much fun talking to all of you, and I hope that that feeling is reciprocal. I hope that you've been entertained or learned something on my channel, and it's really just been a wonderful year of getting to make connections with all of you. So of course I had to put lovelies in here for all of you, my lovelies. All right, so that was a pretty simple one to get into, but don't worry, there's probably going to be lots of yammering going on pretty soon. All right, to explain this next shade, I feel like one of the great joys that Jeremy and I have together is getting to go out and kayak. I never thought that I would ever get in a kayak. I've always been very afraid of like tipping into the water, but it's something that he enjoyed, and so I was like, well, okay. He actually made me feel like safe enough, and I don't mean like, ooh, scary safe, but like that he wouldn't make too much fun of me if I did it horribly. And as a Virgo, if I feel like I'm going to not excel at anything, I just tend to like not try it at all, because not being flawless means I need to burn it to the ground. That's just how I am. And when I tried it, I mean, I definitely wasn't great. I still don't think I'm great, but I haven't fallen out yet, so that's good. But anyway, we really enjoy getting to go kayaking, and this year I bought my own kayak. Jeremy and I'm sure actually I talked about it in last year's Reflections palette video. By the way, I will make sure to have that one linked down below if you want to kind of peek at the year of 2021. But I talked about how we realized in our last trip of the year that we needed to get smaller boats. So I finally got one. And this not only represents the kayak, because it does have some colors close to this. I think I have a picture that I can put up here. But this color, which is the Brains from Copacetic Cosmetics, this also kind of represents the color of water and how enjoyable it is to be out on the water. I am definitely a water baby. I love swimming. I love being in the water. I love being by the water, whether that's, you know, like a river, a lake, a beach, an ocean of some sort. Like, just put me by the water. A hot tub, I'll take it all. But this one definitely, because it has the color that's, you know, sort of similar to the like teal color in my kayak, but it also has like a bit of sparkle. I thought that this would be one to like represent, you know, that glisten on the water. This Copacetic shade is fairly flaky, so I'm going to try to get it smoothed out here, but you can see, I mean, that's just lovely. You'll probably see the texture a little bit more when I do the zoomed in swatches for you before we do the look. But I love this one, and I have made some great memories with Jeremy. We've had some very adventurous moments, some laughs, some swear words, and it is something that we both enjoy. All right, the next one is to represent another thing that has really been a source of fun and enjoyment for Jeremy and I in this last year. We are definitely movie buffs. We enjoy movies, but we really specifically love going to the movies. So we've done a lot of that this year, and we decided that we would get the AMC A-List subscription or membership. So with AMC Theaters, if you get the A-List subscription, and for us in our area, it's like 20 bucks a month, $21 a month, you can go to up to 3 movies a week. Anytime, any theater, like it could be IMAX, it could be 3D, it could be 3D IMAX, and you can go to 3 a week. So that would essentially be 12 movies a month for that $21-ish. It's a great deal if you love movies, and it's definitely allowed us to watch some movies that maybe we wouldn't have necessarily wanted to spring for. And I tell you what, like for instance, we actually just took Jeremy's kids to the new Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, so those tickets, like between the IMAX and the 3D, I think that they were like $18 a crack. So it's like right there in our membership, just for his ticket and my ticket, we almost fully made up for the membership in that one time. And you get like discounts on, you know, the concessions and everything. So anyway, speaking of concessions, wow, I just totally got rambly here. But anyway, if you have AMCs in your area, you should definitely check out the A-List if you are big movie buffs like we are, because it's a great deal. So popcorn, right? Like, what is a movie without popcorn? And so this beautiful bright yellow shade that I'm gonna try to like swatch here without getting it all over again, this was meant to represent, you know, beautiful, buttery, perfectly popped popcorn. And I have to say, like, again, like, just, you know, you walk into the theater, you get that like smell of popcorn popping, and it just is so much fun. And wow, look at that gap that I just put between those two. Shame, it's a shame here, but I am struggling. Let's just make this really big. Should we do that? Seriously, I don't know if this is also representing the hot mess of my ear. Like, okay, there we go. So you can see that this is actually a really bright shade. Now, while it's a bummer that Glam Shop shade busted, I'm not surprised because the Glam Shop mattes are so delicate. I don't even know what happened. It's not like I dropped this palette or anything, but they are very delicate. But I actually bought that single because it's one of the ones I believe in the Citronata palette, which is one of my favorite Glam Shop palettes. And I loved it so much that I got it in a single. So I still have it. So if I can't repress this one with success, then I still have it in a palette. But anyway, we're gonna set her to the side carefully. So that was definitely, like, we have gone and seen so many movies this year, some really good ones and some like thought-provoking ones, and then ones where we're like, wow, we're so glad that we essentially kind of like got that free because they weren't great. Okay, so this next one, I don't even know how to describe it, but this next shade represents dirt. And if you know me well, you probably know that my outside situation here at the house, last year, I talked about in my reflections video, I talked about how Jeremy and I were doing the wildflower garden, and it's been a lot of fun. We still have some of that, but we have had so much like rearranging of landscape. Jeremy has extended the driveway next door for the renters, and y'all, I have some huge ass piles of dirt right outside my window. It's kind of chaos. It's chaos in our yard, and I just feel like it's been sort of like an upheaval of a lot of hard work that we've done, and it just kind of had to happen for a lot of reasons. I'm not going to get into it. But it's like I can't not talk about this because it is sort of a stress factor for me in life right now. Like just coming home and seeing these huge piles of unearthed chaos and stuff. So it really is a little bit tragic because I feel like we put a lot of work into what we've done. It's not all gone or anything, but it's just dirt. There's dirt everywhere. And like, it's just maybe the lack of beauty, not even the lack of beauty, the lack of calm, serene. It's just chaos. It's chaos out there. So this is one of my new shades. This is Volkahar from Dandelions Co. So if you saw one of my live misses, what is the plural of live miss? Live misses? Anyway, I did a live swatch party just last Monday. And this shade is very beautiful, very pigmented. Honestly, these Dandelion Co. shades are actually very soft. I'm surprised that it wasn't one of these that busted. Actually, I'm not. I think Glam Shop is even softer than Dandelions Co. So you can see this is definitely that like dirt. It's that dirt shade. Welcome to my 2022. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I did a shade to represent dirt. Okay, so this next one, for those of you that don't know, aside from being a salon owner and, you know, hairdresser, makeup artist, I'm also a national educator for Paul Mitchell, John Paul Mitchell Systems. So I travel and do hair shows. We do in-salon education. I do some content creating for their YouTube, Instagram, etc. And so, you know, for a while there, 2020 and beyond, that completely like shut down. So it's really just this year that I've been able to get out more regularly and get to see my fellow hairdressers. And that's really been amazing for me to be out sort of like with like-minded people again, getting to share my craft, share my passion, and, you know, just really kind of like be amongst people who sort of get me and get the crazy obsession. So I wanted to put a shade in here that just represents hairdressers, and hairdressers are known for wearing black, but I couldn't just do like a black, because I had a black in last year's palette, but you know, hairdressers are a little something special. So this is the something special shade that I pulled out. You can see that something special right there. This of course is Midnight Sun from Divina Cosmetics. This is that beautiful like blacky charcoal to deep red shift. So this one tends to be a little bit harder to swatch. Let me see if I can get a nice good swatch here. It performs beautifully on the eyes. I've worn it a couple times and just been in love with it. So hopefully you can see there how it has that beautiful like red shift, but you have that like sooty undertone. So I think that this is just a fun one because it's like black with that little extra something special. And I definitely think hairdressers are a special breed. So you may notice as I'm going through these, I don't really feel like I've had a lot of, you know, moments that represent my year. Honestly, I really struggled when we decided that we were going to do this one again. I was like, I really legit, like, when I look back on the year, I don't really feel like I have a lot to celebrate. And I don't mean to say that in like a woe is me kind of way. It's just, I mean, I even talked to Jeremy and I was like, okay, can you think of like some memorable things or like really good moments that we kind of had where it's like, okay, let's talk about something that was like amazing in life. And I just don't feel like in general, there aren't any like, whoa, things that really happened. So it was really just trying to find the little things in this year that brought me joy, that, you know, mean something special. And this is one of them. And that is just in general, like fires outside, not the kind of fire that I talked about in last year. That was definitely a sad one. You know, just sitting outside by a fire, enjoying nature, enjoying that crackle sound, those beautiful colors. And this shade really represents like that beautiful glow and warmth of a fire. And this one is Lynx from Divina Cosmetics. So I was like, okay, do I pull out a red? Do I pull out a yellow? Do I pull out an orange? Do I pull out like a blue? I mean, all of those shades are within a great fire. And this one I decided to pull out because I feel like it has a little bit of a lot of those shades, but it also has a wonderful, like light catching, sparkly kind of vibe to it. So I love Lynx. I think that this is one that is, you know, kind of one that has gone by the wayside. It was one, you know, that I think a lot of people loved when it first came out, but you know, there have been a lot of Divina shadows that have come out since, but this one is super magical. So if you don't have it in your collection, I definitely highly recommend it. It's in my top 15 for sure. Boy, I mean, that's going to be a really hard one to go to talk about. Like, that's actually like really hard. At some point, I'll have to do like a top 10 Divina shadows. Like, that's going to be a real struggle down the road. Maybe I'll have to do that, but this is definitely in the top 15 for sure, just like off the top of my head. So this next shadow, you know, I said that I don't feel like there have been a lot of like outstanding happy moments in this year. It's honestly been a struggle of a year for me. Like it really has been. And I thought that more of that vibe would come out in the energy of this video, but I just feel like the beginning was such chaos that it's probably good. It probably just got me on like some like other tangent. There's something intangible. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just been challenging. So one of the things that I wanted to put in here is something that just represented hope. And for me, that means a lot of things. That means hope for things in my life. It means hope for things going on in the world. It means hope for humanity in general, like hope for my fellow humans, my friends, like things that a lot of people are going through. And I feel like the way I feel in here right now is the way that a lot of people feel. So I just wanted to throw this one in here. Sorry, I'm trying not to get like too emotional in this video here, but I was Googling to see like what color really represents hope. And I saw both like green and yellow. And obviously, I mean, I already had like a very, very yellow in here. So I wanted to pull out something that not only evoked like the color green, but also just like a hopeful look, I guess I would say. This is the shade Electric Mint from Glam Shop. I believe I may have put this in a BYOP. Honestly, I swatched this one right away. When I saw it in my collection, I was like, yes, that is the hope color for me. And I swatched it and I was like, And then I was like, but I think I've used this in a BYOP this year. And I was like, well, let's find a different one. And I swatched a few others and it just didn't resonate with me quite as much. So we just went with it. I love this because it has a beautiful, like maybe you can see here on my finger, maybe not. It has a beautiful like green flip to it. There is actually a little bit of like a violet to it and it's soft, but it has some shimmer. But you can see here, maybe not in like the far away swatches, but once I do a zoomed up shot, it's very iridescent, it's sheer. And so it's just that like whisper of something coming around the corner. You know, it's sort of that like magic moment that is yet to come. And that's one thing that I've needed to find this year, is that hope. I love this shade. I think it's very beautiful, and I think it could work well as an inner corner. It could be a topper. You could, you know, pop it all over the lid on top of a shade that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So I really enjoy it. And like I said, I just couldn't pick anything else. Okay, so this next one is representing another like happy place, both like mentally and physically. So for the past 2 years, Jeremy and I have gotten a spa membership that includes like an overnight pass at a regional spa. Like it's only actually about an hour away from us, but it's got an overnight pass and some day spa passes where you can go and use the facilities. You get a little bit of spa credit, you get some meals. So this one membership is actually a pretty good deal. You get a decent bit of savings. And we did it last year because we were like, okay, well, we're not going to be going anywhere. We're not going to be going anywhere. So why not find something that's nearby that could still be enjoyable? And, you know, they were doing like capacity limits, so we felt pretty comfortable. It was never like too many people. And it was just something that for us, you know, we both run businesses. We both just have a lot on our plates, a lot on our minds at all times. And I think for Jeremy and I, it was a great way to just like, you know, you get an hour away, but it feels like you're much further, and just like get that separation from the to-dos in life, the stresses, the worries. And oftentimes we would just go and we would just hang out, use the facility, maybe take a meditation or a yoga class, chill out, and just really get to enjoy the peace and the quiet and each other. So this color kind of represents just like the earthy nature of being there, but the logo for the spa has a color that's kind of similar to this. I'm kind of cheating, but I'm also putting this one in here because I do think that this is my favorite matte single shadow that I've gotten all year, and I just got it, and this is Cardinal Call from Dandelions Co. So this is such a beautiful color. It is that like earthen clay, deep brownie red. It is just, it's so gorgeous. It just makes me happy, and I have to put happiness in here. And I think that this color, you know, obviously goes well with some of the warmer shades in here. I think it just like adds that little bit of depth. I think you could also like layer Midnight Sun over this one as too. So, I mean, just look at that. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it makes me happy. So, you know, like I said, it's really been all about finding those little things that bring me happiness. And one of them was this single shadow. We have one more pressed shadow that I'm going to show you. But before we do that, I want to share with you the cream shadow that I'm going to be putting in here. And this cream shadow is representing something that's been very, very important and very memorable in my year. And this is my friends, my special friendships, my relationships with people, and you know, it's really been crucial in my year. And so the shade that I picked out is one of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. This is the shade Exposed. I love the shade. I think it's just like a standby, works for everybody. You can always count on it. It is, you know, reliable, it's steadfast, it never lets me down, and those are the people that I'm thinking about right now. So if you are someone where we've had, you know, multi back and forth Marco Polos, long-winded ones. We have probably had a conversation going in a text message, an Instagram DM, and a Marco Polo all at the same time. I'm probably talking about you. You all know that you mean so much to me. So it's just really gotten me through, you know, like whether it's celebrating some funny little moments, some silly things, or just being there for each other in some hard times. I really appreciate that. And, you know, we all need those relationships. So I'm going to give you a little swatch of Exposed. This is definitely my most used color fix. This is, oh, it's crooked, but this is almost like a taupey, grayed out brown. It's a great contour shade, you know, whether that's on the eye or on the face. You'll see here as it dries down. This one, I mean, it's just so, first of all, it's like bulletproof. I mean, you can put this on and it's not going to go anywhere, at least for me. So I think that, you know, this could really be something that you put into your crease. You could use it all over your eye as a base for a lot of these other shadows. It's very easy to pull out, like swipe it on just for a little bit of something and go if you want. So this has also been the year, like especially more towards the end of this year, it's really been about like quick looks for me. I've just been enjoying quick more simple makeup where like it's like 1 or 2 items that really shine. That's just really been my aesthetic, as opposed to like, you know, having like 5, 6, 7 eyeshadows on my eye. Not that I can't appreciate that look. I definitely do enjoy doing that sometime, but you know, some of those more simple looks have just really been it for me. So Exposed is where it's at, and thank you to all of the people that are my color fix in life. Okay, so this last shade, this is something that is representing my wish for this next year, and hopefully my wish for myself, my wish for all of you. I think what I am sort of focusing on in this next year, like if I had to pick one word, it would be space. And that's both physical and mental, emotional. I really just feel like ready to just organize a little bit, organize my thoughts, organize my emotions, organize my like living space, my everything, my career, like all of it. I just feel like I need some space, some, you know, if you have no space, if things are packed in so tight, there's literally no way for light to get in. And I feel that right now. So I just feel like I need a little bit more space, a little bit more opening to be able to let some light into my life. And so I hope for all of that for you as well. So this shade, I love this shade. This is another Glam Shop shade. This is the shade Splash. And you know, she's maybe basic, but she's beautiful. And I think that this shade really makes a great, I mean, it can be a beautiful one and done. It makes a beautiful inner corner. It could be, you know, something, I mean, these bottom two, like if we do Exposed and Splash together, I mean, as simple as this is, like this one all over the lid, this one in the crease, boom, you've got like a beautiful look. You've got a beautiful look. And I just wanted something light and shimmery, uncomplicated, y'all. 2023 is also hopefully going to be uncomplicated. So these are the shades that represent my 2022 and a wish for next year. So I'm going to give you an up close look at all of the swatches. By the way, all of these will be linked down below. If I have any discount codes for you, like for sure Pretties for Your Face and Divina Cosmetics, I'll have those listed as well if you want to pick any up and you want to save some cash. So let's get into the up close swatches and then we'll do a look. Oh good, I get a chance to show off my new nails that hopefully aren't too stained from this yellow pigment that basically went everywhere. So we have Pretties for Your Face Lovelies, we have Copacetic Cosmetics The Brains, we have Glam Shop Limetta, this one is Volkahar from Dandelions Co. This is Midnight Sun from Divina. Give you a little look, hopefully you can kind of like see that shift there. And then we have Lynx from Divina Cosmetics. This is Electric Mint from Glam Shop, Cardinal Call from Dandelions Co., Exposed from Danessa Myricks, and Splash from Glam Shop. So there is 2022 swatched on my arm. Look, I think I'm just gonna do this kind of like sped up. It really was just about chatting about why I chose these shades. I don't think the look is going to be anything too crazy, but of course stick around to just see what I created with this color combo. I do think that since I just did that Dandelion swatch party, I'm not going to focus on those ones so much. I mean, I might use them, but they're probably not going to be the primary focus. And since I'm doing one look, not two, I don't know that I'll get to use all of these together. So what I will try to do is at some point this week, I will do another look using more of the shades that I didn't use in today's look, and I will post it on Instagram. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I would love if you would come join the fam at Keep Beauty Real. So let's go ahead and get into the look. I hope you enjoy. Okay, let's take a look at this final look. I have to say, I like the eyeshadow and the look more than I did the year. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that this, like I said, I didn't really have a place where I was going with this look, but I love this. Like, I'm kind of like, oh dang. I mean, my goal and intent with hopping on to my live that's happening in about an hour was to redo my makeup so nobody would see this eyeshadow look, but that's not happening. A, because I don't really have the time by the time I get the computer set up, blah, blah, blah. But also, it's just too pretty. It's too pretty to wash off right now, so everyone on the live is going to get to enjoy it. Hopefully you were there too, because I'm hoping that I got to chat with you. So just some thoughts. I have to say, honestly, laying down that exposed shade first just really made these other colors apply beautifully. Like even the copacetic, which really goes on very flaky usually. I mean, I did wet it with some Fix Plus, but that just seemed to apply like smoother and more easy. I don't know if the Color Fix just made like a more smooth canvas or like a, because they have almost like a slight, I mean, not when I touch it, it doesn't feel rubbery, but like it just has a texture to it. So I don't know if maybe the shadow like grabbed onto that, but even this like electric mint, I mean, when you are using it over something else, it really pops out. This is almost like Water Mist from Divina times 5 bajillion. Like Water Mist is that very like whisper soft, like je ne sais quoi kind of shade where this is like ba-bam in your face, but it's still that like kind of like teal to purple flip. And I think that, you know, especially like where I mushed them together, also known as very delicately and technically blended them together as a professional makeup artist, or mushed, I think that it just looks very beautiful. And I went minimalist on the lower lash line. I think that the color on the top speaks for itself, so I just went with a little bit of Lovelies, and then I did add a bit of like a rosy rose gold liner to my waterline. And some mascara. On the lips, by the way, I went through with the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Gloss. I think this is the Bigger the Hoops. Yeah, this is the Bigger the Hoops. I like this peach and like blue-green moment. I'm here for it. And if you know me, blue-green is not something that I wear a lot. So it's funny. Again, this is why this series is so awesome, because sometimes, and I know that I bought all these shades and I picked them all out, but honestly, the biggest reason I got the Copacetic set was because it's Doctor Who themed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But that color is maybe not something that I'd wear all the time, but I love it. I love this look, and I'm glad that I got to play with these shadows. And I'm glad that you all got to hang out while I did it. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. If you think you'd enjoy seeing more BYOP series, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out. Make sure also that you check out the other creators that I know that are doing this month down in the description box. I think Kendra for sure and Kara, of course, are doing this one. And like I said, if you would like to join in, content creator or not, please feel free. It's so much fun. It really is sort of like a way to like get your creative juices flowing and to use the makeup that you have, which I am all about. If you do want to share, go ahead and tag myself on Instagram. If you take a picture, if you want to tag me here on YouTube, I would love to add you to the playlist as well. So shall we talk about next month? It's going to be a good one or a bad one, depending on how you look at it. It might be a bad one, as in like hard to apply. So next month we are going to do a chopping block, a shadows that I think I might need to get rid of palette. Yeah, so since it will basically be at the end of January, the next one, it's kind of a nod to like anti-Valentine's, right? Like the shadows we don't so much love. And who knows, maybe we'll be surprised. I definitely have a couple shades in mind. I definitely can pick out 10 shadows. I don't know if it's gonna be a cohesive palette of 10 shadows. I'm gonna try, but I definitely have 10 shadows that I need to decide if I'm gonna keep in my collection. So stay tuned for that one coming up. I wanna thank you lovelies for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. As I mentioned, it really does mean so much. You have been a huge part of my life, and I wanna thank you for supporting my channel here, just for, you know, all the kindness and fun conversations that we have in the comments. I love getting to see you chatting with each other in the comments. It's a great place for beauty lovers to just come and hang out, at least I think so. I hope you think so as well. So we just got done reflecting on the year, right? So I would also love to know if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, or if you're here, maybe you're a super fan of BYOPs. Is there anything that you'd like to see me do? I don't know that I've ever done like a duping the vibes. Is that something that you're interested in? Would you like to see me do some other just like general BYOPs? Is there other content that you would like to see? I would really love to know what you would like to see in 2023. All right, that is gonna be it. Thanks for sticking around through this one, and I will see you really soon.